Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of The Singer's Toolbox. So today, guys, I want to talk about when people put a big lot list up on Facebook, right? And you want to scour through that list. I want to take you through some of the purchases that I made. I have to make an admission here. A lot of these scores I'm going to show you today are scores that I got from Gerald Seminatore. You'll remember from the last Britain Bonanza, I bought all of those Britain scores from him. This is all of the other music that I got from him here. I also want to feature and shout out to my friend Roman in Russia. I got a whole bunch of these other scores in. He had to send them in two separate packages, and they were heavy and they took forever to get here. So I'm finally getting to feature some other stuff that I got from him. So we'll also talk some Russian scores today. If you guys like the content, by the way, hit like and subscribe down in the bottom. And I have an important question for those that are watching these videos. I've been thinking about doing affiliate links, or at least just linking to some of the things that I mention here, some stuff that's easily found, so that if you're trying to find it yourself and you're saying to yourself, wow, it's great that this exists, but where do I find it? I can try doing some of that hunting for you guys. So comment down below if you think that might be a thing, and let's get to it. All right, guys, so first up, I want to talk about a bunch of the art song that I got here from Gerald. There's a lot here, so I'm just going to go bang, bang, bang on this. But first, I really just want to mention, I have admired this composer since my undergraduate, Gerald Finzi, and I had bought the lower-voiced version of this collection, and I'd always looked for the higher one, and I never wanted to pay the original price on like Sheet Music Plus for this, so I figured I'll wait until this comes around and I'll buy it used. But guys, if you're a baritone, he wrote a lot of stuff for baritone, so buy the low version of this. There are a couple of cycles in here that were written for tenor, and also this book also puts a lot of those cycles up, so that if you're a soprano and you want to do some of these cycles, they're here. The lower voice, there are cycles for baritone and mezzo, and those are original keys, so they might be really comfortable. But this is the Gerald Finzi collected songs, 44 songs and 7 complete cycles or sets. The next thing here, just powering through, I don't think I've ever talked about Masters Music Publications on here, but man, I love their stuff that they put out. So when you talk about reprints, okay, Masters Music is really good. I know some people get a little meh about reprints, but these guys really do a good job. And I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think that they do too much editorial work. I think that they just straight up take the plates and reproduce them. I'm not sure, Glendower would have to correct me on this, but I'm not sure if they're publishing actively. I think they might have been sold to somebody else, and it's not the original people. I think that they were located in Florida, if I remember correctly, originally, but I'm not even sure if they're still putting stuff out. That's something to look into. But this is the Frederick Delius 3 Verlaine songs. What I like about this is that you can sing them both in German and in French, whichever suits your fancy. I believe that he originally set these to the German translation of these texts, but really awesome to have a reprint. Now, talking about reprints, I didn't even think that this existed as a reprint. The Lily Boulanger songs, when do you see these in print, guys? Like, they're usually super expensive, and they're like Durand or some kind of French publisher. I didn't even think this existed from Masters Music Publications, but go figure. I guess I was proved wrong. Again, this is kind of on one of that list of like, when you see it, buy it, guys. French composers, it's so hard to find their music. I think I have a whole collection of like the Gounod songs that's also Masters Music, because you can't find them anywhere. So, you know, until you find the originals used somewhere, like, it's good to just have the reprint if you want to do them. I love Boulanger music. I love those Gounod songs and all that kind of French stuff. So when I find it reprinted, I usually buy it. But this is the Lily Boulanger, I'm going to butcher this, Clairière dans le ciel. Okay, now, I saw this and I was just fascinated. Gerald is going to have to explain this to me at some point, but I bought this because why not? Songs of Soldier Poets. Now, I'm aware that there were a bunch of composers and poets that served in World War I and II. I mean, like Ravel served in World War One, you know. But this I thought was really cool. I'm gonna have to do some more research on this. But whenever I see something that is like a chamber piece for multiple instruments and voice, I usually buy it because you never know. Also, a lot of this stuff is very rarely printed sometimes, so you know I might have the only copy for all I know within a certain radius. So I like just having stuff. You know, bad habit, but Songs of Soldier Poets. Gonna totally look this up. I might even put this on a recital. Who knows? The next bit here to end this section, man, guys. Okay, so first off, I love Britain, but I love Vaughan Williams just as much as I love Britain. So, quick story: my love of Britain, not love of Britain, my love of Vaughan Williams kind of started. I was understudying the baritone role in the Poison Kiss with the Bronx Opera. Shout out Bronx Opera, by the way. And I was just floored, guys. I knew the songs of travel from high school and from summer programs. And, was it The Book of Life, I think, too? I knew about some of the art song, but I never knew that he had operas, right? If you didn't know that either, and it's today o'clock since you knew that, guys, check him out. Especially Sir John in Love. That's probably one of my favorite Vaughan Williams operas. Anyway, I digress. These things that I got from Gerald, this is like... So, okay, when these things were copyright, you couldn't anthologize them, right? So one of the things that Oxford University Press did, which Oxford University was the publisher for Vaughan Williams, they published a bunch of these songs separately because people found them to be really popular from the opera, so they were published. We have all of this, the whole set of songs here. So Watchful Song, the Song of the Pilgrims, a couple of sets of the Song of the Pilgrim, I think. The Pilgrim Psalm, which I think I could even probably use this in church, so that's useful too. I guess I have a couple copies of each here. The Song of the Leaves of Life and the Water of Life. The Song of Vanity Fair. Another copy. Oh, the Bird Song. I think that's the last one. Yeah. And then the Bird Song, the number 7. If I remember correctly, I think that even Oliver was telling me that his father was like quite famous for recording one of these songs, that it was one of his favorites to do. I'll have to check with Oliver. That's going to be a thing I talk to Oliver about when we do the interview. So guys, like and subscribe, because once I get to 100 subs, that's when we do this interview. So help me make it happen. But yeah, so these are the complete songs 1 through 7 from The Pilgrim's Progress. Also, if you've never seen that opera, go watch it. It's awesome. All the Vaughan Williams operas. The plots might be a little weird, but the music is incredible. All right, next up, guys, I want to talk a little shop with you guys, okay? Have you ever been in the situation where you're talking with your organist or your music minister or whoever, and they say, wow, I want you to bring me some music for an anthem or a solo or whatever, like during the service, right? But then your first thought is like, well, damn, I don't actually know anything I could do other than a couple of oratorio arias. But on the Sunday at 9 a.m., do you really want to kill yourself singing something from Elijah or from the Messiah? Like, no. You want to find something that's a little easier on you, that's still beautiful, and that's built for the voice, and that's built for you, and to make you sound good. But let's talk about some things that are good for the toolbox that I found from this sale from Gerald. And one thing that happens to be a little adjacent that you can still use, all right? So first up, I just raved about Vaughan Williams. This is kind of adjacent, and I've seen it sung in churches before. It's church adjacent. You could totally use it. This is the Ralph Vaughan Williams, what is this? The Call. It's a selection from the mystical songs, right? But for my tenor friends out there and for my soprano friends, this exists in a higher key, okay? This is from ECS Schirmer Publishing, I believe. Yes. No, sorry. Galaxy Music Corporation, and it's a division of ECS, so it's ECS Schirmer. Totally worth it, guys, because I don't know about you, but I've heard the call like many, many times, and I've wanted to do it, and then I thought like, but it's a little low for me now because I haven't been a baritone for the last like 4 or 5 years, and I've kind of like lost that lower middle of my voice where that used to be. So higher key, it works. And honestly, if I can find, I might even try to find the medium key because I'm not sure if the original key is the lower, the medium, but the high key works really well, especially for a recital or if you need to pull a solo out for something. It's good to have. The next thing here, and I brought this up the last time for Britain when I was talking about the Harmonia Sacra and settings of these hymns, right? This is a reprint of the Purcell's setting of 4 sacred songs from the Harmonia Sacra. I'm kind of interested just to kind of hold on to these and see if I can use them for my church job. They're always good to have, guys. I mean, again, stuff for the war chest when they ask you to pull stuff out just to like record a quick solo. Good to have. And again, yeah, a lot of these are reprinted by international music companies, so go check them out. The next here, now this is really like the good stuff that you want to, when you see these, buy them, especially from this publisher. But these are solo cantatas by Dietrich Buxtehude, right? If you don't know who Buxtehude is, go back to your Music History 1 textbook. Buxtehude was kind of like the guy before Bach, right? They're gorgeous. All of Buxtehude's music is incredible. But this is a cantata for 2 sopranos and bass. I think that you can also sub one of the sopranos for a tenor or something like that. But this also comes with parts, guys. So these Baron writers, when you can find them, they also include like the basso continuo part, and this is for 2 violins. So you're going to find the parts for everything in here as well. They might be a little costly. Again, I just buy this stuff used when it pops up. But it's totally worth finding these when they have the parts so that you can just hand them out and like plug and play and go at it, The other one here, I found another Buxtehude, and this is also a Baron writer, so these are both Baron writers. This is a solo cantata. This is Herr, nun lässest du deinen Diener. This is for tenor, 2 violins, and basso continuo. Again, these have the parts. Totally worth it when you can find it. I'm seeing the original price here on this is like $11 from Cambridge Music, which, considering it has the parts, it's really not that bad, guys. But again, I'm grateful that I found this used. But I would go about trying to find these, especially, they're for all different voice parts you can find these, but the ones with the parts for the instruments, completely worth it. Next up is a quick little section I wanted to do, but I think this really might be useful knowledge for all of you out there, especially for my singer friends who want to try to spruce up their package with some modern music, right? It's hard because it's hard to get your hands on these scores, right? And then how do you excerpt the arias? So if you can look up who publishes the aria or who publishes the opera, right? A lot of times, especially with modern music, modern operas, they'll publish certain popular operas separately. In this case, Gerald just happened to have these, so I went for it. But I've been singing this one for years, and I think this is going to be easier to carry around than like hoping that I know where my scan of this is from like when I made a copy of it when I was in grad school, because it was one of my first tenor arias. This is Bolcom's The New York Lights from A View from the Bridge. Totally worth having a copy of this because, sometimes you lose track of the stuff that you made before, and then, you're scrambling desperately and asking online for stuff. So this is good. And again, published by, I think it's like a Schirmer score, like an ECS Schirmer or maybe a regular. So it's published by Hal Leonard. So you can find these. Hal Leonard publishes. The other one real quick is The Ghost of Versailles, John Carigliano. I've never sung this aria, the aria of the worm. I've kind of wanted to, but I just, haven't looked at it. Not sure if it's right for me yet. I got to take a look. But I figured, why not? It's here and it's used, so why not? But again, Hal Leonard, G. Schirmer, When they're published by, whichever publisher, usually they will publish them separately. So if you're desperately looking, if you look on that publisher's website, you will probably find it. And a lot of times, you can buy a digital download, like a legit copy, rather than buying the score. So good thing to know about. Really happy that I got my hands on these two here for the collection, just to kind of throw in the anthology section. So love it. All right, guys. So if it's not Britain, then we're here to talk about my other obsession. That's right, Russian opera. So, quick shout out and thank you to my friend Roman, man. This guy's the best. He even was going on about how, like, one of these scores is damaged and, like, I'm sorry about that. I'm like, Roman, it doesn't affect the music. I'll show you what he was telling me, but this guy's the man. I'll link to his shop at eBay below if you find anything that's interesting. Again, Russian scores are expensive, so I warned you. But Roman, as a person, when you're looking for Russian stuff, is so knowledgeable and willing to help. So I hope this helps, Roman, because for some reason I can't post any good stuff on your shop, so I am directing people to you. First off, I want to go into Prokofiev's. I believe this is pronounced Igrak or Igrok. This is the Gambler. So one of the cool things about this, I was just reading about this, is that Prokofiev was one of the first to set a Dostoevsky story to an opera. Okay? One of the cool things about this score generally is that this is reprinted with the permission of the Prokofiev estate. This is kind of like considered, the or text for this. Funny enough, funny story, if you were to get this score, I thought at first, like, that's weird. It's in 3 languages. Like, it's translated in 3 languages. But apparently, Prokofiev prepared this score in the 3 languages as he wanted them to be, like set them how he wanted them to be, so that if they were to be performed in other languages, they'd be performed to his standard. So awesome score. So happy I found this. I waste so much money on Russian scores, but it's worth it. Okay, it's worth it. I will keep convincing myself by saying that. The next person or the next score here is another Prokofiev score, The Love for 3 Oranges. A lot of people probably know the Dover reprint, but man, I don't know why. Roman was helping me out here, and like, this was cheaper than I thought it would be, and it's like hardcover, guys. Like, God, this is solid. This is another one of those that's considered like an or text for the Prokofiev estate, or from the Prokofiev estate. So definitely worth looking into. Awesome score. Oh man, this is just like screams premium opera score here. And I don't usually like the super like hardcover kind of glossy things, but awesome. Now the last one I want to get into is what Roman considered to be damaged, but I don't know, guys. I'm not really that bothered by this. Literally, he was concerned because he's like, oh, the dust cover on this is all torn up, like damage and whatever. And I'm like, Roman, does it really affect the inside of this? Like, no. I mean, this thing is perfect. So this last one is Tchaikovsky's oh man, I'm gonna butcher this. Charadayka. This is the Sorceress. Okay, this is the Sorceress. Now, I have a reprint of this already, but it's in like 2 parts, and it's a gigantic score. This is a little oversized, but this puts all of the music of the Sorcerer in. I want to check with my reprint, because it's possible my reprint might be from like a different year, and that it's 2 different editions, like 2 different because I know that Tchaikovsky updated this one after the premiere. So, but this is like, the Russian only. When I saw this, because I don't know, I watched the Tchaikovsky Enchantress for my watch through during the pandemic, and man, it's an incredible opera. So was totally excited to buy this. Again, these scores are expensive, labor of love, guys, but so totally worth getting into. Okay, so some final thoughts and conclusions here. Um, I got a little ranty and obsessive today. I apologize. I just, man, guys, I love this stuff. So passionate about it. And I love trying to help you guys find this stuff because I know it can be hard, especially just trying to find it for a decent price when some of this stuff is incredibly expensive. I also want to expand the channel a little bit, so keep on the lookout for that. One of the things I want to do is to expand into some actual tools. So, for example, when I'm going on a singing gig, what's the stuff that I take with me? Because I do carry some things just in case. When I'm teaching my public school stuff, between when I was fully remote and now that I am not, I might even do some on location stuff on it. I got to check out and see what the procedures are for that. But to show you what my current tech setup is as a music teacher, as a public school music teacher. I also want to get into some of the tech end stuff too and show you some audio visual things that you might be aware of. Because look, during the pandemic, guys, especially as a singer, I know that we all had to take a little bit more of a look at ourselves as far as being like an audio visual tech, right? So I want to share some of my knowledge about that with you guys, some of my tools. I'm thinking about doing affiliate links. I don't know if that's of interest to everybody, but if it is, so that you don't have to go hunting around and you can also help me out here since, I'm not getting to 1,000 subscribers anytime soon, I will start putting those in the description. If there's any interest for that, comment below to let me know that you're interested in having affiliate links. Guys, like and subscribe. I'm really hoping I can grow this channel a little bit more. We can start doing some bigger things, interviews and things like that. But I will see you all soon on the Singer's Toolbox.